What is a resource group? How to create a virtual machine? How to create a SQL databases? How to create a database account? How to create a storage account? And how to create different services, and then we move on to different services. How to create the app services, and then we move on to different services. Okay, the first thing is what is Azure Resource Group? Okay, so the first thing is we can see the Azure account, okay, the resource group. So everyone need to understand what is a resource group, and then we can go on to another services. Okay, resource group is nothing. Resource group is a container that holds related resources, okay, for a Azure solution. Okay, let's say you are creating a different resource group. Okay, so all the resource group, they have a related resources. Okay, the thing is the resource group can contain all the related resource for a Azure solution. Okay, let's say for example, we have a different location. Okay, let's say we have US, we have Europe, and we have different location over there. Okay, when we create a resource group, you can see here, go to home, go to resource group. Okay, let's see, this is a resource group, and then we can add. Let's click the add account, create a new resource group. While when you create a resource group, you can see here, right? The subscription, we use a free trial. The resource group, let's make a name, is Azure 6 a.m. Azure 6 a.m. resource group. Okay, you can create Azure resource group. Okay, Azure resource group 6 a.m. East US. Okay, so you can use any keyword here, but the only thing you cannot use is Azure. Okay, you can't use Azure, but you can. What I'm trying to do here is Azure 6 a.m. resource demo. Okay, so the another thing is resource detail. Okay, so where is the resource group at? Okay, you can see here the region. We can see we have East US, East US 2, South Central US, West US. We have Southeast Asia, Australia East. Okay, we have different regions. Okay, you can use the East US. You can use different one. Okay, also we have a North Europe. We have a different regions over there. Okay, for now I'm creating East US. Okay, let's create next, and then the tags. So the name of text we can put environment. Okay, the value we put a development. Okay, so yeah, you can also do another names also, and then you can see the validation passed. If you want to make a automation, you can download here and click validation. Okay, now our resource group is created. Okay, Any questions about the resource group? Okay, so let's see how many data center in Azure. Okay, so this number of data center is keeping changing, you know. So let's search data residency in Azure. Or we can say Azure data center locations. Okay, because this number of data center, the locations is keep on changing, you know. So see, you can see this. These are all the locations the data center located. Okay. So whatever the map you can see is where the Azure maintaining their data. Okay. Whenever they add a data center, they will update on this map. Okay. Okay. The next one is, so when we create, it's not the nearest location. So when we create, we specify the exact location is East US. Okay. Once we create the resource group, we will focus on other resources. Okay, so what kind of resources we are interested in? Okay, so we start with Azure VM and then Azure SQL and then Azure Storage. Okay, we will see one by one. Okay, first we need to focus on all this. Okay, one by one. Okay, Azure App Services. Okay. So whenever you want to create the application, so we need a virtual machine, right? And then we need a database, correct? Okay, so we need a storage, correct? Okay. So the very common services for all the common services is a virtual machine. Okay, we need database, we need storage. Okay, so basically the Azure VM, Azure SQL, Azure storage. Okay, so it's very like common use for the service. Okay, so if you don't want to create the VM, you don't want to deploy your services, then you can create another thing. It's called platform as a service. Okay. So first we will focus on Azure VM, and then we will focus on Azure SQL, and then we will focus on Azure storage. Okay, and then we will focus on Azure app services. Okay. Let's focus on the Azure VM now. So go to your home, click on virtual machine. Okay, click here, virtual machine. Okay. There are no virtual machine right now. Click the add account and virtual machine. Okay, it's a little bit slow. Now, if you see this, the first thing is what? Is a subscription. We try the free trial and then resource group. What are our resource group? Is Azure 6 a.m. Resource group demo, right? And then virtual machine name. Okay, so you want to create, what is our resource group? Azure 6 a.m. resource demo. Okay, virtual machine. So you want to create Windows virtual machine or Linux or Unix virtual machine. In Unix, you wanna you need to select that. So for now, we need Windows. Okay, so you can select Windows Server 2019 data center. Under the virtual machine name, you can give Windows Server 2019 data center. Okay, so we are using the Windows, so we use Windows Server 2019. So you need to mention what is your virtual machine name, what is your region, what is your availability options, what is the availability zone. I want to be as one. Image is nothing, but the yeah, first we can go on the Windows. Later we will do Ubuntu and CentOS. OS. Okay, so what's the username? Let's put the username. Okay, I'm giving this username and the password. I will keep like this. Okay, something like this. Okay, I'm going to up to this. Okay, copy paste this. This is my password. Okay, I'm confirm the password and then the import port rows for the Windows machine. We need to add the RDP3389. So in this way, we can connect to the Azure from our virtual machine. Okay. For here, the disk option, we use a premium SSD. For now, I don't change anything. And when I need, I can add an extra. Okay. Right now, I just use the default one. Okay. And the next is networking. So the networking, yeah, this is a subnet and the public IT. Okay. Let's go in forward. I will show you how to create a subnet, how to create a public IP. Okay. And let's go next. It's management. So if you want to monitor anything, you can select here boot diagnostic, so you can manage it. Okay, I don't want to manage anything. I don't want to backup. I don't want to auto shutdown. That is something. Everything is off. Okay, so in advance, there are yeah. Yeah, if you want to create something, you can pass your code here. Create data. So once the survey is create, then you can install different things. Yeah, you can put here. For now, I use as a default, and I will add it later. Okay. Next stage is tag. So we can put the name is the environment. The value you can put a development. Okay. That means this virtual machine belong to the development. Okay, let's create next. It will run the validation. Once the validation is passed, okay, we will see the virtual machine is enabled. Okay, okay. Create button. Okay, click the create button, and then we virtual machine is started. Okay, we need to wait and the deployment success submit. Okay, so we are submitting the deployment. Okay, this is deployment in process. Okay. Okay, there's another software name is called Mobex term. Okay, it's software where you can connect the Windows virtual machine, or you can use RDC, remote desktop connection. Okay, it's the same. So I already have this application, so I'm going to use it. Okay. Okay, if you see the deployment in progress, we will need to wait it. And go back here. Let's click on the virtual machine, and we need to wait until here is listed. Okay, because it is still deployed. Now the virtual machine is created. Okay, the status is creating. We need to wait until it's ready. Okay. Now you see my VM is ready. My VM is running, right? Okay, click on here. Okay, go to overview. From the overview, you can copy the public IP address. Okay, this is my public IP address. And go to the mobile system and create a session. This session RDP. Okay, paste the host name and my username. 1CKRM and then click OK. Okay. So my password I kept it here. Okay. Let me copy, paste. This is my password and you can see it. Okay. Click OK. Okay. Now I will get a Windows server which I created from Azure. You can see I'm connecting to the Windows server, right? So my Windows machine is good. See? I don't want to say yes. So PuTTY is for Linux machine, not for Windows. Okay, let me close this. Let me create another one. Okay. Okay. Click on plus and virtual machine. This time we will select two different one. Okay. Oh, this is expected because I stopped the service. Okay. Go here, select the resource group. You can give a name, Azure or MQVM, and you can select the RHEL. Okay, this is only different. Okay, okay. Let's the availability option and the available zone. Yeah. Okay, this is only thing different. Okay. Okay. Let's do to connect to Linux. Okay, there are two ways. One is SSH public key. Another one is password key. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's do the SSH public key. You need to download this key pair. You need to keep the key pair. Okay, use the key pair to connect it. Okay, let me show you what's to the SSH SS public key. Okay, for now I'm going for it. The username is Azure user, and the SS public key source. We put a generate new key pair. The key pair name is this. Okay, click next. Okay. Okay, so once you create it, you cannot change it. Okay. Yeah, first let's show this process. Okay, scroll down, put a next to this. Next one we have a Premier SSD, and then we're going to networking. Again, I'm using the default networking. Okay, this is virtual networking and the subnet public IP. Right now, I'm just going for the default one. I will show you how to do it later. Okay. I don't want monitoring. I don't want to auto shutdown. I don't want to backup right now. Okay, let's do advanced. Okay, if you want, you can keep something here. Okay, let's say I want to install something. I can mention it here. Okay. Meaning YAML install HTTPD. Okay, it will install. Okay, next. You can mention any key value pair. The name is environment. Value is development. Okay. Next, review and create. Okay. and it will run the validation. Once the validation passed, all clear button is enabled. Let's click the create button. Okay, you need to download this key pair. Download private key and create results. Okay, because we select the SSK option. Okay, and we will store this private key. Okay. Yeah, you have to store it in very security place. Okay. Now this is virtual machine. Okay, so instead of password, I can use this keeper. Okay, let's go to the virtual machine. Go to the virtual machine, and we will wait until the virtual machine is ready. Okay. Right now it's still not ready. Okay, we need to wait a little bit. Okay. Deployment in progress, and we will wait a little bit. Now my virtual machine is creating, so we will wait until it's running. Okay. Okay. Click on the VM. The meantime, we can copy the API. Copy this API. Go to Milestone. Create a new session. This session is SSH session. This is remote host. This is for username. The username is Azure user. Go to advanced SSH setting. Use private key. Look for the key pair, which we just created somewhere. Okay, Azure VM, Azure RHEL VM. Okay, waiting the server to connect it. Okay. Now the server is running. You can click on OK. Now you can connect to the RAG server. Okay. Okay. Now the public key is here. So the key pair. We can see we can able to see the Azure user. Okay. Okay, let me delete this server. Let's do another one. Okay, let's delete it. Okay, let me create virtual machine. This time I will try to create a Ubuntu. Okay, this time I will create a Ubuntu virtual machine. Click on plus virtual machine. This time I will prefer use password. Okay. Select the resource group. The VM name, you can say Azure Ubuntu VM. I'm selecting the Ubuntu VM. Okay. Instead of the SSH public key, we use password. Okay. We mentioned about username. The username and the password. You can keep your password. Okay, I'm using this one. Okay. And then, as I said, by default, I can use it here. Allow does, yeah, here is nothing, is the SSE2. And we click next, okay? And then next working, we are going at the default next waiting, next management, and keep it, okay? I don't need any monitor right now. I don't need any auto shutdown. I don't need any backup shutdown now. So let's go forward. Let's go advanced. So in the advanced, you can install anything here. Okay, you can do apt installation, no apt update, apt install. Okay, you can do this. Okay, apt install, install Docker. Okay, you can do sudo. Mm-hmm. Next tag, if you want to. Okay, we can put a environment. The value is development. Okay, all the tags. Okay, review and create. Okay, it will run the validation. When the validation is passed, we have the create button is enable. Create. It will start create the resources. Okay. Okay, so in this approach, we use password. Okay, the previous one we use SSH private key. So let's see here. Here is a deployment is in progress. Okay, we need to wait a little bit. Okay, we need to wait until the server is create. Okay, we need to wait a little bit. Okay. Now server is create. Let's go back to virtual machine. Oh, sorry. Go back to virtual machine and then we refresh. Virtual machine still deployment. Okay, the deployment is still going on. Okay. Okay, it's not ready yet. Okay, we need to wait until it comes. Okay, let's do here virtual machine refresh. Okay, we will wait until it's create. Okay. Okay, you can see it's already create. Okay, copy the public IP and go to this section. SSH. This is a remote host specific username. Okay, my own user, this one. And this, we don't have a public key pair. Click OK directly. And this is my password, okay? I don't want to save the password, okay? Okay, I'm able to connect to the machine, okay? Any questions so far? We did the three things, right? The first, we create a Windows Server VM. The second thing we create is RCVs with them. Okay, the third one we did a Ubuntu with a password. Okay, any questions? Okay, now very straightforward. Next thing we need to understand is when you create a server, you will have some disk. Okay, what if the disk is full? How to increase space for server? This is one thing we need to understand. Okay, and we need to focus on Azure VM backup. And then we need to focus on in the end and not now. We need to focus on for each resource we need to focus on automation, how to create Azure VM using Azure CLL. Create how to create Azure VM using Terraform. This thing we need to focus on part of automation. Okay, this is a different concept of Azure. Okay, we are not do today, but I will explain this tomorrow. Okay, so every service, the idea is what is the service, how to create the service, how to connect to the service. Okay. So right now everything is about automation. Okay. So everything I did here, I have done manually, right? But what we do when we really work in the company, what we do, everything is automation to do it. How to create Azure VM? You need to use VM using Azure CLI. We need to automate the process of creation of 1 second. So what I have done manually, right? I created the the virtual machine manually, but when in the project you do everything is automation. So you need to use Azure CLI. You need to using Terraform. Okay, so it's you need to automate the process of creation of infrastructure. Okay, so it's not doing it manually. Okay, so which is called infrastructure as a code. Okay. So we still need to know how to do the manually because without manually create the VM, you can't do the automation. Okay, is this clear? So for this course, we target for Azure admin and Azure engineer. Okay. So in our video, we target for the Azure admin and the Azure engineer. Okay. But if you want to developer, I can also do the developer also, the .NET Python, Java also. But again, it's up to you, your comfortable level, your programming. Okay. So, okay, for some people have a ETL background. Okay, you can do this certification. your focus on should be this one more. Yeah, in this course we will cover all this, okay? So ETL mainly focus on those things, okay? You need to know Azure Customers DB, Azure Synapse Analysis, Azure Data Lake Story, Azure Data Factory, Azure Stream, Azure Databricks, and Azure Block Stage. You need to know all this, okay? Whether you know to other, it doesn't matter, but if you want to as a Azure ETL developer, you need to know all this, okay? All this thing we will mention about it in this class, okay? The only thing is I specifically deal this thing, okay, only for you, okay? So reminding are all common for everyone. So I will do Azure Data Factory, Azure Stream Analytics, Azure Databricks. This belong to the ETL. Okay, is clear? So everybody have to understand how to create a Azure VM using Terraform. Okay, it's called IaaC. Okay, first thing is everyone should know these services, and whoever who focus on the big data, they need that. Okay. Okay, so if you're targeting about big data, we need to mention about the Azure Data Factory, Azure Stream Analytics, and Azure Databricks. Okay, so there's multiply the job profile, so we can do the Azure Admin, Azure Engineer, Azure Pipeline Developer, Azure ETL developer, or Azure Big Data. Okay, so field service is specific for the different context. So we are going to target Azure Admin and Azure Devops Engineer profile. Okay. In the end, I will focus on the ETL. Okay, so this services you don't need. This is for the ETL. The these services you don't need. Okay, these services you don't need. Not needed for about profiles. Okay, if you are Azure ETL, then even they don't know app services, but it's fun. But you have to know all these services for sure. Okay. Okay. Copy, paste. Okay. You need to create a account and start a practice. Okay. Okay. As part of this, we will discuss about Docker, and we are going to uh, focus on the Docker and the Kubernetes. Okay. So I'm not sure whether everybody create an account or not, but please try to create a Azure account and then start practicing. Okay. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Okay.